Hi, I am with Iain Lovatt, who is the current mayor, and he is seeking re-election. Um, Iain, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Thanks, Queenie. Nice to be with you.
Uh, Nice to see you. So, when you became mayor 4 years ago, what was the town like, and what would you like to say are your main accomplishments?
Yeah, you know what? One of the bigger challenges that we faced in the previous term of council was disunity amongst council, for sure. We were in the news for all the wrong reasons for a good 24 months. Um, and it was just a really challenging time. We were a bit of a revolving door with staff because it was just a very unstable place to work, and there are lots of jobs available in the municipal sector, and so you can go get one for a municipality that's stable. Why would you not? And that's what we found. There was a big turnover of staff. So I ran for election on the premise that I wanted to unify council. I wanted to develop a strategic plan that was going to lead us forward over the next 4 years. We hadn't had one prior to, it was 2010, I think was the last one. And we wanted to create a safe place for staff to work. And we wanted to make Stouffville one of the greatest municipalities in the GTA. And we've accomplished all those goals over this last term of council, even with dealing with the pandemic, which, there was no playbook for, and there was no sage wisdom to call upon on how to deal with that. But we were able to, unify council with the strategic plan. Actually, I mean, we had a goal of what we were going to try and achieve over the last 4 years. And while we always didn't see eye to eye, for sure, we were able to, work together for the common good of Stouffville. And I think that we've done a really, really great job over the last 4 years, kind of leading. We've rebuilt the team. The culture has changed in the town hall. We have staff that are wanting to come and work for us now, as opposed to wanting to leave us. And there's just some really great things that are happening. And I feel like one term, especially with the pandemic thrown in the middle of it, isn't enough time to really get things moving. So that's why I'm seeking reelection for the next term.
Great. What have you done to help small and medium-sized businesses in Stouffville?
Uh, you know, so huge advocate. I was a small business owner in town prior to becoming mayor. My wife and some friends, we opened the Main Street Bakehouse on Main Street as a demonstration to show that you can invest in our downtown and be successful. When I ran for mayor in 2018, we sold our interest in the bakehouse because I didn't want there to be any conflict of interest there. In being mayor and owning a small business, but also knowing that the Main Street reconstruction plan was going to be coming forward, which we've worked through this last 4 years, and it'll be implemented in 2024. Um, During the pandemic, there was a lot that went on to support small business, and using social media was a key part of that. Really trying to broadcast to my followers that what's happening within the local business community, and certainly with the restaurants for sure. That was very, very key to get let people know that they could take out. But we had a number of shop local programs that we were running. Community improvement plan was reinstated, where small businesses in town can apply for a grant. Prior to my term of council, it was a loan that was registered on title. So if it wasn't repaid, it'd go on your taxes. And it was just too cumbersome to try and help, or for businesses to apply. And then it had to go to council. And so council just approved a lump sum of money. Myself and two other councilors are on the committee that vet the applications. And then it's one decision per quarter of that money that can go out. And so there was that support. And, certainly I think being present and active in the community and understanding the needs of our business owners is also really key. which is something that I pride myself in. And then that's represented in all the endorsements that I've received from our local business community for my reelection campaign.
What would you like to do to improve transportation in Stouffville?
Great question, because transportation is horrible. um, it's horrible because of the pandemic. To be honest, I mean, we had ridership numbers up around 100,000 a year in Stouffville routes on York Region Transit, and then the pandemic hit, and then everything fell off a cliff. I mean, all transportation, public transportation got hurt really, really hard during COVID. So we're starting to see signs of recovery. We lost one route, Route 15, that used to go across Stouffville Road over to Yonge Street, but we were subsidizing those riders by like $40 a trip, and so it didn't make economic sense. So what we've done now is we've added dial a ride. Within Stouffville. So basically, it's like transit on demand. You contact YRT, they'll come pick you up, and if you're in Stouffville, there's 6 locations they can take you to. If you're up in Ballantrae, you can do the same thing. It's within a 5-kilometer range for seniors, and building relationships on York Region Council over the last term has given me the opportunity to really advocate for our community, and I hope to do that next term. Certainly to see as transit ridership increases across the board, um, you know, transit doesn't have to be a loss leader when it comes to a service. Um, there is a way to make money on it, and so I'm hoping that as we recover out of the pandemic, as our ridership and our growth in our community too, there's going to be a higher demand for ridership or for transit. The other thing too is advocating with Metrolinx for two-way service every 15 minutes north of Mount Joy. Right now, that service ends at Mount Joy, and I've developed a really strong relationship with Metrolinx CEO, and I've been advocating with him. Let's just come up that one more stop. It's not that much farther, and it'll offer the opportunity for Stouffville residents to get on the train in Stouffville instead of having to take the GO bus down to Mount Joy and then pick up the train there. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. People want more services, but services cost money. Funding is always an issue. Do you want to talk about the complexity of getting funding? I know you got some grants from the Ontario government for small businesses.
Hmm. Yeah, it's you know we have a we have multiple sources of revenue that come into the town to fund services, um, and right now, 95% of the burden, the tax burden, is on residents, and that's unsustainable. And so, my goal, if I'm reelected, is to continue the hard work that I've been doing with our economic development team to attract new business into town, and not just small business. I mean, I'm talking like medium to large size businesses. And we have 1.6 million square feet of commercial development in the planning process right now, which is unheard of in our history. And so we're going to be able to unlock the potential of our commercial tax base in this next term of council. We've also requested that the province open up more lands along the 404, which is where industry wants to be. Um, you know, I made a tongue-in-cheek video to, Elon Musk trying to attract him to bring his new assembly plant into Stouffville. Um, and, it was funny to see the criticism that got, but what it represents, I think, was lost on those people. It's basically saying, hey, we're Stouffville and we're open for business and we want you to come and build here. And since that time, interestingly enough, we've had a meeting with a very large EV battery manufacturer that wants to build in Stouffville and be on the 404. And so there's these opportunities that are coming to us, but we need the province to open up the lands and remove it from the Oak Ridge and Rain countryside policy so that we can actually really prosper. We've asked for 3 specific areas on the 404 at Stouffville Road, Aurora Road, and Davis Drive. And if those areas get built out, it represents $62 million in new tax revenue that would come to the town. Like that's game changing for us. That's two thirds of our operating budget. So to have that income coming into the town is going to free up a lot of money for services, infrastructure upgrades, that are going to be required. Lots of complaints around, road condition in certain streets, certainly traffic calming measures that are required. Well, we're going to do a study on traffic calming in town, and it's not going to be cheap to implement. I'm certain what it's not going to be cheap to implement the recommendations that come in. And so we need money to do that. And it shouldn't just be on us as taxpayers.
If you were to identify with a federal or political or provincial political party, which party would you identify with and why?
That's a really unfair question, Queenie. Because as a municipal politician, we're agnostic. But I would say that I am socially liberal and fiscally conservative. So I don't know where I fit. So I really don't like the way the liberal government's handling our financial, side of things. But I am supportive of the social side of what they're doing. Certainly, the response in COVID, we needed, emergency response, to help people, especially those that were losing their jobs. But unfortunately, now we're backtracking and trying to collect money back from people that we gave it to that we shouldn't have. And, that's where you've got to like tighten up the fiscal side. So yeah, not sure where I fit.
Okay. What would you say to undecided voters?
You've got five, men who are interested in serving as mayor. I am, I think proven. I've been on council for 8 years. I've been able to turn things around with council and show that I can actually build consensus and unify a team of diverse-minded people. Obviously, because of the diversity within our municipality, we've got rural wards and urban wards, and the needs are very different. But we've been able to really bring consensus to the table and work together and function together. Our previous mayor caused all the issues that I cleaned up, and the other three candidates are completely unproven. So, it's easy for me to say I think that I'm the best choice to lead us into the next term, but I truly do believe that.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience at Bullet Point News?
Yeah, I think that you know I've kind of branded this hashtag for Stouffville over the last 4 years of this term, and it's more than really a hashtag. It's actually a a mantra or a way to look at our community. It's very easy to get caught up on social media and to read everything that everyone's against. But regardless of the outcome of this election, we need to be for Stouffville. We need to be. We need to change our disposition. There's just so much negativity, and I think that if we can be for Stouffville, for our community, for each other, and we demonstrate that, I think, on a daily basis, certainly out beyond the keyboard. But it seems that everything that we do online is just so negative, and it'd be nice to kind of live in a community where that disposition has changed a little bit. So get out and vote, and let's be for Stouffville.
Great. Thanks so much, Iain. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a great day.